Good evening. My name is Simcha Wolf, a proud CTA parent, and along with my co-chairs, Ariella Nudis and Edie Frank, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2022 Columbus Torah Academy Scholarship Dinner. We are so happy that you're here. We love having events in our school. The last 60 days has brought speakers, authors, cooking and animation nights, all with the goal of bringing our community together. This is how we build the Jewish community, by engaging, by making friends, all centered around our school and our children. Thank you, Jewish Columbus, for your grant to kickstart our community re-engagement, and we will see you all at the next event.
Tonight is a special evening for our school. We are indeed fortunate to honor 3 exceptional supporters of the Torah Academy. Rabbi Zack of Congregation Torah Emet will be receiving the Distinguished Community Service Award. Victoria and Roman Ilin will receive the Volunteer Award, and Lidia and Lev Kucherski will receive the Distinguished Service Award. In addition, we will feature amazing videos by students and alumni, an online auction with fabulous items, and a few other surprises we hope you enjoy. Most importantly, we are confident that tonight's program will continue to shine a light on amazing educational and extracurricular programs within CTA, and the caring individuals, organizations that support our school.
Those of us who have personally experienced CTA, either as a parent or a student, know what an exceptional place this is. Since its inception in 1958, Torah Academy has been dedicated to providing a nurturing learning environment. Our students from a variety of backgrounds get a strong secular education that imparts critical thinking skills and a strong modern Jewish education that inspires knowledge and love of faith. Through a challenging dual curriculum combined with numerous extracurricular activities, our students are being taught the skills to learn and love Torah, appreciate our place in American heritage, knowledge of Jewish history, and to build a connection to the state of Israel and Hebrew language.
Yet for many families, sending their children to CTA is financially challenging. Thanks to funds from the scholarship dinner, generous contributors to our annual spring fundraiser, and support from Jewish Columbus, it is possible for many families to send their children to Torah Academy who otherwise could not. On behalf of all the families and children who received a top-notch, affordable education, we say to every one of you tonight, Toda Rabbi. Please look on page 58 and 59 in your tribute journal to see all of our generous sponsors, and a special thank you to the leadership of the Jay and Jeannie Schottenstein family and a new group of parents who reached out to business partners and vendors, all listed on page 335. Thank you very much for helping to make this evening a resounding fundraising success.
Tonight's gala's theme to our school's tagline is Inspire, Learn, and Achieve. The CTA way is to prepare students for a life of meaning and success. We inspire our students, involve them in becoming lifelong learners, and point them towards the future of achievement. We have asked 3 students from the class of 2023 to put in their own words what CTA education means to them. Let's hear what inspires Ruthie Blumberg, Talia Zikenik, and Avigdora Steinberg.
Hanukkah. It's the festival of lights. This is how we all know it. It's about the family getting together to light Hanukkah candles. For For anyone who doesn't already know the story, many years ago, the Greeks took over our land, forbidding us to practice our religion. A couple of young men, known as the Yavanim, or the Maccabees, decided to fight the Greek army, ultimately winning. The Jews used the last small jug of oil that they found to light the menorah, which we know lasted for 8 days, hence the miracle of the oil and our main focus on lighting the candles. Today, we take that to another level by deep frying ordinary food. No complaints there. But something is missing. Doesn't it seem like we're missing the real miracle? How did a couple of malnourished, untrained Jews beat the entire Greek army? Why are we so focused on the candles? This past summer, I spent 5 weeks on an NCSY Israel program called Israel ID. On Tisha B'Av, which is the 9th of Av, when we commemorate the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, I remember our bus taking us to overlook the city of Yerushalayim from the top of a hill. As some of you may remember, at this time, parts of Israel, including Yerushalayim, were actively under threat of Palestinian attack. My classmate Avigdor, who spent his summer at a different program, showed me videos of his bunk waking up to the sounds of rockets in the sky. It was terrifying, but thank God we are safe for the remainder of our time there. We must understand how a Jew fights. A Jew never fights with a sword. He defends with a sword. But a Jew fights with light. How did we fight Hitler? Not with anger. We survived with light. We built families, had children and grandchildren, helped each other, and lived with joy. And we created schools and learned Torah to instill and uphold our values. He tried to kill, and we became more alive through education. The story of Hanukkah happened years ago, but it's still going on today. Anti-Semitism is persistent and has very recently been at a peak. There are always people that hate our nation. But the question is, how can we respond? That is the message of the Hanukkah story. The light of the menorah represents Torah knowledge and our Jewish values. In all my incredible 13 years at CTA, I've learned and achieved so many things. But most importantly, I've been inspired by the light of Torah. CTA has taught me what it is like to be an inspiring Jew. I'm surrounded by the love and care of my peers, teachers, and mentors. One thing that I think makes CTA stand out from any other place is its growth environment. It's a foundation based on others wanting to help you and see you grow to be your best. We inspire each other by shining light on each other. So, this Hanukkah, as you light your candles, join the cause of bringing a little bit more light into your life. Respond to darkness with light. Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Good evening. With the permission of the Rabbi and the faculty and staff at CTA, as well as with thanks to all my teachers, mentors, and the people who have helped me to accomplish many things, I'm honored to speak to you tonight. This past summer, my dad had a high expectation of me. In his words, all he wanted me to do was find the cure for cancer. While I can't say I've done that outright, I can say that I have discovered 3 DNA mutations that have the possibility to suppress the tumorigenic properties of rhabdomyosarcoma in zebrafish, aka stopping tumor growth in an aggressive muscle tissue-like cancer. I worked with scientists, doctors, and students in the Kendall lab at Nationwide Children's Hospital, studying rhabdomyosarcoma, one of the most common childhood cancers, which has a 5-year survival rate of only about 20%. There are no targeted therapies right now for this cancer, so the goal of the lab is to find opportunities for these specific therapies instead of classic surgery and radiation, which can take a toll on the body, especially for children. We use zebrafish as our model, which are actually pretty close to fish you find at a pet store, but some experimental fish were injected using the CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing system. My hypothesis was that when specific DNA is mutated, cell survival in cancerous cells will decrease and cell death will increase, resulting in hopefully slowing or stopping tumor growth. Now that I've had a chance to explain to you a bit about my past summer, let me connect it to my science classes at CTA. In 9th grade, I had the opportunity to take honors biology, and in 11th grade, to take advanced anatomy and physiology and AP biology with Dr. Carol Park, may she rest in peace. These classes taught me many things about human and cell mechanisms, and and as well about how DNA mutations result in cancer. My internship helped give this knowledge, make it more vivid with a context and real experience, but I couldn't have done my internship without what CTA has taught me. As a STEM person, biology really speaks to me, and no matter how much I wish it was, science is not only science. Science is math, science is teamwork, science is a drive to keep going. These are not just things you learn in your science classes. These are things you learn in your algebra and statistics classes, in your English classes, trying to finish those essays, in your Chumash and Gemara classes, learning the Torah and what it means to be a good person. These are things you learn walking in the hallways and in and out of classrooms at CTA. Well, I owe it to my mentors and those who I first asked questions about research to for helping me experience this internship and learn so much more detailed information. I have gratitude to my teachers at CTA because I got a good foundation in order to be able to fly when encountering something new. Thank you.
Last year, at the end of the first semester of my 11th grade, I was faced with a choice: take film class as my 9th period elective or take art. Up until then, I wouldn't have considered myself to be artistic in any way, but I always thought it was cool. The only problem with taking art is that I wouldn't be with any of my friends, because usually all of the boys take film class. Through thorough persuasion, I convinced my good friend, Ariel Ilin, to take art class with me. There are many times when a small decision can change the course of your life, and this was one of them. Our art teacher, Miss Stillman, taught this class as an open studio, meaning we had access to everything in the art room, and we could choose our projects. This allowed me full creative freedom to make whatever I wanted. So I did. Fast forward almost a year of hard work, I have developed this skill that can be used. In many ways. Thanks to CTA, I have an ability to create, and I look forward to keeping up with my art, and I can achieve even more if you bid on the pieces I have submitted in the silent auction. Thank you to my teachers and to CTA for 13 great years.
Thank you, Ruthie, Talia, and Avigdor. One of our students' most popular activities is the lower school choir. This year, our lower school choir is made up of 33 students from grades 3 to 6 who have diligently practiced under the guidance of music teacher Sherry Friedman. Please sit back and enjoy what is always a highlight of the scholarship dinner, the Torah Academy Lower School Choir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2022 Scholarship Dinner.
We know what you're all thinking.
It has been too long since our last live performance in 2019.
Watch out, the CTA choir is back!
Our first song, Chaver Sheli, by David Perlman, talks about the importance of having an unconditional commitment to our friends.
Rabbi Zack has been a close friend of Columbus Torah Academy for many years, even before I was born.
Mazel tov to Rabbi Zack for his well-deserved honor. The students of CTA are grateful for your unwavering commitment to CTA to make sure everyone knows how important a Jewish education is for our future.
Touching our heads,
Our next song, Tikkun Olam by Yonina, describes how there are so many opportunities each day to help others and do what we can to brighten their day.
Victoria and Roma and Ilin, our volunteers of the year, truly deserve this recognition. They're always ready to roll up their sleeves to make the school the amazing place that it is.
Yiddish is a dying language, but here at CTA is a treasure part of our heritage. Every day at CTA, we schmooze, nosh, kvetch a little, and sometimes drive our teachers a bissel mashuga. first sing our next song, Kids in Yiddish.
Our last song for this evening is from the olden days, all the way back from the 1980s, called We Are the World. Please enjoy as we add a CTA twist to this song.
This song talks about the importance of giving to others and to take care of the world around us.
Mr. and Mrs. Kucherski embodies the idea of taking responsibility for others, evident by the countless acts of kindness they performed over the years.
choir for your beautiful performance. A special thank you to choir director Sherry Friedman, accompanied by Tony Haygood, Rachel Metz, and Yuri Schatz. Please see page 6 in the Tribute Journal for a list of all the lower school choir members and accompanists. It's been a tradition at the scholarship dinner to introduce the young men and women in our 8th and 12th grade classes. Will all the students in those classes please stand up and be recognized? The CTA faculty and staff, with support from parents, are a big reason why our school has developed such fine students. Would all of our incredible CTA faculty and staff please stand up and be recognized? A special welcome to our first-year upper school principal, Debbie Grashin, and first-year lower school principal, Dr. Miranda Kogan. Thank you for bringing your vast educational experiences to CTA.
One way to measure the success of a school is to look at the success of its alumni. Would the alumni and alumni parents in the room please stand up? Thank you for your lifelong commitment to CTA. Now, please welcome to the stage Lidia and Lev Kucherski, President of the Torah Academy Board of Trustees.
Good evening. It is incredible to see so many people here, and it reflects how important CTA is to each of us on a personal level and to the entire community as a whole. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we sincerely thank you for coming together tonight to celebrate the success of CTA. So I'm pretty excited. I get to talk about a topic that inspires me more than anything, which is the development and the growth of our students, and then the success of our graduates on their career journey. But first, I need to deliver a quick public service announcement. This is actually pretty important, time sensitive, so please listen closely. The job of raising money to support CTA scholarships does not end tonight, and tomorrow our focus turns to a new initiative. The state of Ohio recently passed a new tax credit that allows Ohio taxpayers to redirect a portion of your state tax dollars towards CTA to be used to fund tuition scholarships in an amount up to $750 per individual and $1,500 per married filers. So in other words, if you're an Ohio taxpayer, this program actually costs you nothing. You are simply redirecting the tax dollars you would pay instead to help support CTA. Anytime tax matters are involved, we encourage you to speak to your financial advisors or accountants, but please be on the lookout for information from the school this week. It's a simple process. It takes under a minute. But it needs to be done before the end of the year, so time is of the essence. Thank you in advance for paying attention to this information, and please try to participate. It will have a great impact on the students of CTA. And how about those students of CTA? What they are accomplishing is amazing. Balancing a dual curriculum of secular and Judaic studies. Our CTA students are learning sciences, technology, liberal arts, and math, while at the same time exploring the depths of Torah, grappling with the complexity of Gemara, and learning about the challenges and the triumphs of Jewish history. They're waking up early in the morning for shacharis and staying late to practice basketball, and in the spring train for baseball. They are developing the skills necessary to excel in higher learning and in yeshivot, and to become leaders in the boardroom and in the Beit Midrash. But how do the two fit together? How does the rigorous, high-quality secular education join forces with the comprehensive and strong Jewish education to create so many examples, so many alumni that become great examples of Jewish leadership and success? So let me suggest one possible answer. While CTA students are building the skills necessary to succeed in the world, at the same time, a Jewish education inspires them with a greater purpose and meaning within which to apply those skills. The Jewish tradition is clear, and you've heard all of the students say tonight that we have a responsibility to be the light and to make an impact on the world. CTA embeds in our students a Jewish identity, which then calls upon them when they're here and after they graduate to take responsibility for the world, to be the light, and do incredible things. So our students are develop skills so effectively because at the same time, they understand the greater purpose and the greater meaning within which they are to apply those skills. And we infuse the learning process with greater meaning, and we tie their development to the greater cause of carrying on the incredible story of the Jewish people. And when you understand and when you see the bigger meaning in what you're doing, the learning process is self-motivating. And it's something that our graduates carry with them after school, in their career journeys, and throughout life. But there's one other thing that I think is critical that all the students carry with them and that I think propel them on their journey to a life of meaning and success. And that is the confidence that comes from our incredible teachers. Our small class sizes give our students opportunities for leadership development, and they create opportunities for teachers and students to develop long-lasting, deep, and meaningful relationships. Our teachers are amazing. They see the potential in our students that as kids they don't yet see in themselves, and they empower them to become the high character, high caliber, and high quality Jewish leaders that make us so proud. One of those Jewish success stories just donated these scoreboards to the gymnasium. Lauren and Ben Sapir, Ben, an alumni from the CTA class of 2000, recently gifted these scoreboards to the gym. We love alumni like Ben, who stays connected. Ben stays connected to CTA, and we really appreciate his willingness to give back. And we look forward to a more formal dedication in their honor in the coming future. For now, please join me in hearing some stories from our other alumni who are pursuing their career dreams, bringing their light to the world, and who make us so proud. Thank you.
Hi, Debbie Grashin here, class of 2004. Mazel tov to all the honorees for everything you do for our school community. I want to thank the teachers that I have here, especially Mr. Atkins, my computer science teacher, and Mr. Kramer, my math teacher, who inspired me to go into math and computer science education, and Ms. Hirschfield, who taught me about educational leadership, all of which led me back home to CTA, where I'm now working as the principal and computer science teacher. Go Lions!
Hi everyone, Josh Cohen here, CTA class of 2010, and I'm currently standing at Major League Soccer headquarters where I work at accounting. While it's certainly not playing, it's an amazing opportunity to work alongside colleagues who share the same passion for the game. Passion that my dad passed down to me when he helped start soccer at CTA for my sister. I was lucky enough to play through CTA and continue my playing career through college at Yeshiva University. Professionally, I would not be where I am today without the help and support of all my teachers at CTA. Special shout out to Mr. Guinan, Mr. Kramer, and Mr. Bailey, who are still going strong at the school. I can still remember watching films with Mr. Guinan, making paper shapes with Mr. Kramer, and somehow always losing in badminton to Mr. Bailey. I still have no clue how that happened every time. Congratulations to all the honorees tonight. Each of you have made CTA and the Columbus community something truly special. Lastly, congratulations to all the graduating seniors tonight, especially my sister Mia, who will be bringing an end to a 30-year streak of having a Cohen at CTA. I wish you all the best, and go Lions.
Another way to measure the success of a school is to see the joy of students learning and growing in a variety of different skill sets. It is my pleasure to introduce 12th grader Philip Garvin, who has achieved a lot on the piano and who will enthrall us with the Franz Schubert's Impromptu Opus 90, number 2.
Philip. That was incredible. Well done. To recognize our Distinguished Community Service Award honoree tonight, Rabbi Howard Zack, spiritual leader of the congregation Torat Emet, it is my pleasure to call on past President Monica Calabrese and Dr. Itana Zack to introduce him.
I'm Monica Calabrese, a past president of CTA and a past president of Congregation Torat Emet. I'm also the mother of 3 CTA high school graduates and mother-in-law of 1. Professionally, I was an IT geek for American Electric Power for over 40 years. I built computer systems, managed their support, evaluated and introduced new technology, and worked on the financial management of all of it. But when I met Rabbi Zack, I didn't know anything about how to build a healthy Jewish community, the roles of the many institutions in the community, how to work with those institutions, the value of partnerships across the institutions, and the parts that both the professional and lay leadership can play in building community. Even worse, I didn't know how much I didn't know. In spite of that lack of knowledge, I was on the board of CTA. Actually, I was vice president of the high school at the time. And I was asked to join the board of Torat Emet at its start, concentrating on youth programming. But lucky for me, and lucky for both institutions, Rabbi Zack does know all those things. He understands and is passionate about building community and creating partnerships with organizations across the community and with their professional and lay leadership. I don't think I would have been able to be president of either CTA or the shul without his active support. He was always available to help me reason out issues and provided very capable advice. We won't mention the times that he provided advice that I didn't request, because most of the time I did need it. I have told him that it's very annoying that he's right so much of the time. When I was president of CTA, I was very appreciative of all the time and effort Rabbi Zack was willing to devote to the school. I know he continues to be available to the current administration of the school, both lay and professional. His focus is always on what's best for the school and the school community. I am very blessed to be able to call Howard Zack my rabbi, teacher, mentor, and friend. Now I'd like to give the mic to someone who calls him by a different name. Dr. Itana Zack, class of 2004, calls him Abba.
Good evening. I don't think I've been in this room since I was regularly scoring 0 points for the basketball team. From a very young age, my parents were both involved in Jewish education and Jewish communal work full-time, and very involved in my personal education, really to an annoying extent, frankly. My father helped establish the synagogue preschool that I attended, and he was a frequent presence in the classroom, either to come and teach the Parsha or to do story time, sometimes as his alter ego, the rolling rabbi. For some context, it was 1990, and he had just gotten his first pair of rollerblades. And the pediatrician in me is very proud to remember that he always wore his helmet and set a good example. He also wore his knee pads and his wrist pads, so he's just like a real cool dude. My parents co-founded the day school that I attended until 8th grade and were ever present at the school. A big part of our decision to relocate to Columbus included ensuring a high school education for me and for my sisters that included Limudei Kodesh. Even at my college graduation, he gave the invocation, so I really couldn't escape. I do want to point out, though, that his really deep involvement at Columbus Torah Academy mostly occurred after my sisters and I graduated. And I really think that that speaks to a deeper commitment that goes beyond just ensuring the educational needs of his own family. really beyond ensuring the educational needs of his own congregation and beyond the needs of even the Orthodox community to the greater Columbus Jewish community. He is particularly passionate about helping CTA to be a place that can serve the needs of Columbus Jews across the spectrum of religious observance and affiliation. And he also is particularly passionate about making sure that we ensure the sustainability of CTA along with our other communal organizations. I can tell you from many years of experience that a lot of the work he does happens behind the scenes and in the off hours, so I'm very glad to see him receiving this recognition. It is my distinct honor to present my Abba and tonight's honoree, Rabbi Howard Zack. Please.
Thank you, Monica and Eitana. Thank you, Ariella, Edith, and Simcha. And thank you to the lower school choir. I'm a little verklempt with joy and pride this evening. I would like to first congratulate my co-honorees, Victoria and Roman Ilin, good friends and congregants who work tirelessly on behalf of CTI and beyond CTA. I'm a little verklempt. CTA and the entire Jewish community. Mazal Tov. I'd also like to extend Mazel Tov to Lidia and Lev Kucherski, who are role models for so many in our community who, like them, began with very little and yet built so much in order to give back even more. Mazal Tov. I want to thank Rabbi Drandoff, Ron Lefkowitz, and the CTA board, Shari, Norm, and the entire CTA staff and teachers for the dedication to our children's education. I thank you all for sharing in this honor with us tonight. I feel 160 degrees of blessing this evening. Behind me, well, actually sitting right now in the front row, are my parents, Sid and Margot Zack, from whom I have inherited most of my skills and talents. How lucky am I to have them here with us in Columbus. Before me are my children, Eitana, Shifra, Meira, and Ben, represented so ably by Eitana this evening. Each of them have already pitched their own tents as young professionals and active members of their Jewish communities. How proud we are of their accomplishments. Beside me is my Ezer Kenegdo. She would say more often than not, Kenegdo, but that's not really true. Her public role as a teacher, lawyer, and rabbi's wife is enhanced by her behind-the-scenes approach to serving the community with chesed and outreach. Thank you, Linda, for letting me do me. And yet, still on my other side, completing the circle, stands our community, diverse but dedicated in its commitment to the Jewish education of all of our children. Indeed, 360 degrees of support and blessing. I am often drawn to a short passage in this coming week's Torah reading of Vayeshev. This passage conjures up for me a haunting refrain of what could be and what should be. In the opening of the parsha, we find that the relationships between Yosef and his brothers are fractured by immaturity, jealousy, and a failure to communicate. While fulfilling his father Yaakov's request, Joseph encounters a stranger who asks him, Ma ata mevakesh? What do you seek? He responds, Et achai anochi mevakesh. I seek my brothers. Simple pshat, simple meaning. My father asked me to check up on my brothers. Do you know where they are? Not so simple pshat. I seek communion with my brothers. I seek common ground with my brothers. I seek fealty with my brothers. My profession and my passion is to seek out Jewish brothers and sisters. I am dedicated to Jay and Jeannie Schottenstein and to the group of families that were responsible for bringing Linda and I to Columbus to be able to fulfill that passion. Tonight, let us reaffirm our common cause and desire to seek out every Jewish child in Columbus and provide each of them with the resources necessary for a meaningful Jewish education. Let us not allow any impediment, any immaturity, any failure to communicate, any jealousies between us. Let us, rabbis and lay people, teachers and parents, not allow any financial impediments to deter us from this goal, because every child is our brother or sister, our son or a daughter. Et achi anochi mevakesh. Let us be one family. Thank you for this honor.
Thank you, Rabbi Zack, and Mazel Tov. Before we begin our second recognition, I want to remind everyone that the auction committee, led by Ariela Nudis, has put together a list of great items up for bid. In true 21st century form, you can bid on these items on your phone or on your computer. The QR code can be seen on the screen. But to hear more about it, I would like to welcome our new Auction Central hosts, Aliza Alt and Ari Schulman, to the stage.
Thank you, Mrs. Wolf, Mrs. Frank, and Mrs. Nudis for such a lovely evening. You guys are doing great.
Did you not love that choir? I remember when I was a choir singer, such nachas.
Have you seen all these amazing auction items? Let's highlight a few.
Yes, don't you just love the beauty items, the Invisalign, the plush gift card, and my Aunt Naomi's boot camp?
I'm thinking more the Schottenstein Shas, the Team Signed Blue Jackets jersey, and Camp Mesamchem. I really liked it last summer.
Ari, don't you think we should address the elephant in the room?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The top 10 reasons why we canceled Mr. Binsky and Mr. Zofan, who promoted the auction last year.
Let's just do 5. Number 5, they wanted presenters who could see over the podium.
Number 4, Ohio State hasn't beaten Michigan since Mr. Binsky and Mr. Zofan have been on this stage. Go Bucks!
Number 3, Mr. Binsky and Mr. Zofan became prima donnas who demanded Perrier and a Peloton in their dressing room.
Number 2, Mr. Binsky and Mr. Zofan demanded 5% commission on all the auction items. We only asked for half of that.
And the number one reason is that we were world famous for our roles in The Wizard of Oz last year.
Don't you think we should talk about the real reasons we were canceled?
Oh, I think they got wind of the fact that we were going to kneel during Hatikva.
I think that got canceled too.
Yeah, they seem to have.
I think it might have been our not-so-kind request that we return to COVID years, where attendance at this event was on your couch and pants were optional.
Or perhaps the new Auction Central drinks a little less bourbon than the old Auction Central.
A little bit. Okay, we should really talk about the auction. And I don't know about you guys, I haven't done any Hanukkah shopping. I think it's about a week away. I've got kids, a wife to shop for. I'm looking at the Shas and the Shetel.
Shas and Shetel, that's good. I'm thinking for my kids, the Grow Well professional coaching. I think that they could use some of that.
I also noticed, I'm not so familiar with this one, but it's a Grow and Beyond, I think, or something like that. Grow and Beyond. That one stuck out to me. I think the middle school basketball team very much needs it.
And last year we did a mix and match where we tried to combine two auction items, and I think the Bourbon Quartet and the Driving Heavy Machinery sounds like a good match.
No, we are buying that one for the two of us. That one sounds great.
Yeah, it's sold. Back to you, Simcha.
Thank you, Yoni and Daryl, for this very peaceful transition of power. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ariel and Gabriela Ilin, who will lead the recognition of our Volunteer Award honorees, Victoria and Roman Ilin.
I'm not surprised that my parents were the ones chosen this year for the Volunteer Award. It seems like my mom is in a CTA meeting almost every night of the week. She is treasurer of the PTO and chair of the Finance Committee. My dad founded and ran the first Lego League with Mr. Newman for many years in a row, and he supports my mom and keeps our house running while she's at all those meetings. They are great parents who are so involved in our lives. They come to all of our games, school programs, and volunteer to help every time. They truly are so welcoming and always have their door open. Whether we are hosting an NCSY Sukkah Hop or just reading at home and hear a knock on the door.
They host boarding students, including 11th grader Avi Maltinsky and CTA graduate Nassan Fried. They were so welcoming that the Frieds moved to Columbus and now live across the street from us. Each and every day, our parents put others first and show us how important our school and community are. As I prepare to graduate from CTA, I can reflect on the dedication my parents have shown, and I know that Gabriela and I have the best role models for getting involved.
Without further ado, I give you the best parents ever, my mom and dad.
CTA presents to you the Volunteer Award for their time, service, and leadership to Columbus Torah Academy.
Thank you for the award and recognition. It means so much to both of us. We always mention this to our friends, that existence of CTA, a K-12 Jewish day school, was an important factor in our decision to move to Columbus. CTA to us represents a delicate balance between the world of modernity and the world of Jewish tradition. We believe that CTA was able to strike the right balance when we moved here 11 years ago. And we still believe this today when both of our kids are already in upper school and we see the kind of personalities that they have developed. We can appreciate the impact of CTA on their growth, both in their learning and social skills. We would like to use this opportunity to thank the CTA teachers and administrators for doing a great job in creating a warm and loving atmosphere that instills confidence in students and prepares them for college and for the life outside of CTA.
Victoria and I came to this dinner every single year religiously since we moved to Columbus. And we've seen a lot of honorees, and we were really impressed by them. So today, finding ourselves on this stage, along with such foundational figures in the community as Rabbi Zack and the Kucherskis, it feels terrific, but also a little puzzling. So perhaps the caliber for the volunteer award doesn't have to be that great. But, I think it has another meaning, though. My favorite cartoon, Ratatouille, has a great quote. Chef Gusteau says, "Anyone can cook." I'd like to paraphrase it and say, anyone can help. This is our message to everyone here. Everyone in this room has some talent, some skill that could be helpful to the school. And just do it. Offer help and find a way to help in a way that uses your own personal skill and talent. If everyone helps, then the school will be great and the community will greatly benefit from it. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. In keeping with our gala theme, Inspire, Learn, and Achieve, please look at the screens to view a video developed by our award-winning film class under the creative leadership of teacher Steve Guinan. Thank you, Mr. Guinan, and your talented film class. I'm supposed to introduce Ina Kinney at this point to start the recognition of her parents, but she's not going to be here today. She's not feeling well. Okay, excuse me. In her place, it is my pleasure to introduce Jackie Jacobs, Director Emeritus of the Columbus Jewish Foundation, to begin the recognition.
Hi, everybody. So you just heard that our speaker, Ina Kinney, daughter of tonight's honorees, Lev and Lidia Kucherski, has come down with a bad case of COVID. But thanks to the great advances of 21st century high tech, Ina still can join us safely, seamlessly, and out of body to praise her parents. And I, a dear friend of the family, have the honor of making this happen. So let me just turn on the switches, et cetera. One moment. Oy. What's going on here? Oy, oy. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, everybody. Hi, Ina. Great timing with the COVID. Nice outfit, Ina. So, thank you so much, Jackie, for speaking on my behalf tonight. In my own words, to my parents. Don't change a word. Okay. Please tell my parents in the audience that I'm ill and so disappointed not being able to honor my parents in person for their long-standing commitment to the Jewish community and Columbus Torah Academy, the first school I attended in 1974 when our family came to the United States. I'm proud to be your daughter, Mom and Dad, and grateful to be here in my best friend Jackie Jacobs' body to honor and recognize the legacy of Lev and Lidia Kucherski, their children, grandchildren, and Izzy, their great-grandson, and so many, many Jews you have helped all over the world. I was the first Russian Jewish student at CTA and have the fondest memories of CTA's move from its temporary quarters at Temple Israel to the new school on No Bixby. We students were in awe of the new space. I especially remember the drinking fountain. Not only was it the first one I ever saw, but it was also humongous. Coming from Russia, everything was new for us. Not only did I have to learn English and Hebrew, but Torah and Gemara were also part of my education. It's just phenomenal to me that the Jewish community embraced us as their own, provided free education to all. I finally belonged, and I was part of a bigger microcosm. The life we led in Russia was filled with bigotry and anti-Semitism, and I was known as a dirty Jew. To a young child, that defines you and makes you question why. This was my first experience of feeling hurt and made me question human kindness, as I knew at the time from my parents and grandparents that we should never tell anyone that we were Jewish and had to hide our own identity. I never had friends in Russia. Trust was a real issue. And this all changed when I came to Columbus. I was 11, and we were the first Jewish family resettled here, with many more Russians to come. Leaving Russia, I remember only 3 weeks to pack and only 4 suitcases to take and leave everything else and everyone else behind. We embarked on our journey not knowing where we would end up. In itself, that was traumatic. However, it had some positive outcomes, such as seeing the free world where people were able to voice their opinions, practice their faith, and be free. I also remember how hard it was to feel the unknown of tomorrow. Immigration in itself is not easy. I always say it takes the best of the best to take that journey. We had to learn everything. New culture, new language, new way of life. And the United States had so much to offer. I'm in awe of my parents. while in their 30s with 3 children, and how they were able to make everything happen. They did it by sheer will, determination, and hard work. Failure was never an option. These are among the biggest lessons they passed on to me. Work hard, learn, and read. Don't ever take no for an answer, and raise your kids Jewish. I'm proud to be my parents' daughter. Their accomplishments speak for themselves. Not only have my parents been pace setters in support of our Jewish community, but they also say that we have to give back. You can say that again, Ina. I've seen that many times during the many years that I've known your parents. In fact, by way of example, that's me speaking, I am happy, delighted, thrilled, and also quite pleased to announce that Lidia and Lev Kucherski's made yet another gift of tzedakah in honor of tonight's great, huge honor. It's a lead gift, a very special gift for Columbus Torah Academy. And this lead gift, one for the benefit of current and future generations of CTA scholars, given by Lidia and Lev, is to be known as the Kucherski Family Torah. Holy smokes, thank you. A Torah. Ina again. As you know, my parents started with nothing. You can see what my parents have been able to accomplish despite much hardship. And like many immigrants have done, they started their own business, worked hard, and succeeded. Their advice and business accomplishments have shaped my life. In fact, I founded a small nonprofit organization. Well, it's not so small. It's named ECDI. It's now the largest small business association intermediary microlender in the entire country. My organization, ECDI, gives people opportunities where there are none to start and expand their businesses. Many traditional lenders and bankers turned their backs on my parents and other entrepreneurs like them, even though helping people help themselves is the highest form of tzedakah. This should be core to the American dream. This is what this country should all be about. So in my parents' honor, in Ina Kinney's honor, I'm donating $10,000 to establish the Lev and Lidia Kucherski Jewish Entrepreneurship Fund to be used for all Torah Academy students to start businesses and learn that we live in a country of opportunity. Key to the future success of CTA and our Jewish community is a new generation of people like my parents. I urge all of you in the audience today to support CTA as I and my parents are doing. Of course, feel free to match my gift, as there's nothing more fulfilling than to bring up a new generation of Jewish business owners. Ina, please stay on script. Well, thank you, Ina. I appreciate all you and your parents have done. We love your parents. We thank you so much. And whatever you said, I couldn't have said it better myself. Now, to Lidia and Lev, could you please come up? Thank you. I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a moment. Lidia and Lev, in appreciation of your tenacity and your seichel, and your accomplishments and service and inspiration to us all, and not to overlook tonight's gift either, it is my pleasure to give you a yod, a sterling silver Torah pointer with the following inscription, presented to Lidia and Lev Kucherski, the Distinguished Service Award. Thank you for your generosity and devotion to Columbus Torah Academy. This day, December 11, Kislev, 2022, 5783. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. Thank you very, very much. Oh, and one more thing. Ina says, Mazel Tov. I love you.
thank you, Torah Academy. Thank you, everybody who here. Rabbi Zack and Roman. They're from Russia too, actually. I found it out. But I'd like to say thank you, my daughter. I no realize he made like this speech. And we come to Columbus in '74. Was one of the first Russian from Russia Jewish families. You know, when we was in Italy, I want to go to New York because I'm from Moscow, you know, big city. But we line up in Columbus, you know. So we come. I remember, like right now, was refrigerator full of food, everything, you know. We don't speak no English. First years was very hard, but we make it. And anyway, what I like to say, in late 90s, me, Frank Nutis, and Bernie Herson, somebody remembers that probably, Bernie Herson, Frank Nutis organized Free Hebrew Loan Society. We give money to people. We started with Russians who want to go to Israel. You know, we organized several trips, about 8, 9, I don't remember. It was in the 90s. And one day, a friend called me, he said, Lev, we need to help Israel collect money for emergency vehicle, medicine emergency vehicle. And what's happened, we organized this. We go to Torah Academy. Here, if we talk to students too, you know, students Torah Academy, should they help us? You know, actually these kids from Torah Academy, they collect lots of money from parents, from the friends, and we're supposed to be give one car, one vehicle, but we collect money for 2 vehicles. We represent this vehicle. We go to Israel on a trip. We give this vehicle to State Israel. Probably somebody, даже Lawrence here, he was with us on this trip. We travel around 10 days, and in 10 days we stay in hotel. We're supposed to be go home last day. And somebody from our group see woman lay down on the floor. And, you know, she's not was from our group. She was from Denmark, I remember like now. And somebody called right away to emergency. It come truck, you know, truck come, and somebody say, look, it's a gift from Columbus Jewish Federation. It was unusual, you know, it was a newspaper, it's true story. It was unbelievable, I was proud of this. Anyway, it was collect money was held from kids from Torah Academy. And thank you very much. I think I spoke too much. Thank you. Thank you, my wife and my whole family, because with all my family, with my sons-in-law and my wife, I don't know if I make this. Thank you.
I want to say thank you. I'm not too big speaker. I'm sorry. I want to say thank you to Hayas. Thank you to Jewish Federation who helped us when we came to this country. I'm pregnant with 3rd child. And when we came to apartment, I opened up refrigerator full of food. I got furniture. I got even clothes for baby who not was born yet. And through this pregnancy, I never see gynecologist in Italy. They take me to the doctor office. They provided Jewish doctor who delivered my baby. And I don't know, I tell always my kids and grandkids, in future my grandson, because you brought this to us, to this new country, give us new life. Torah Academy took all my 3 kids to school. I was volunteer a little bit to help them out because this is a free school. I don't know, I don't have words to say thank you enough for bringing to us to this country, give this good, beautiful life. And I was saying thank you to Torah Academy to help my kids when they needed your help. Thank you so much.
Lidia and Lev, Roman and Victoria, Rabbi Zack, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to thank you this evening. We are so fortunate to have your dedication to our school. It is now my pleasure to ask Rabbi Avraham Drandoff, head of school, to deliver the closing comments.
Good evening. Mazel tov to all the honorees for your well-deserved recognition this evening. All of you truly contribute to the fabric to CTA that makes it such a special place. The last of the 613 commandments in the Torah is the mitzvah, it's the commandment to write a Torah. And the Talmud in Sanhedrin says that even if one inherits a Torah from their ancestor, they're still obligated to write their own Torah. And the Ksav Sofer asks the obvious question, if you have a Torah from your parents, if you have one from your ancestors, why is there a need to write another Torah? You have one already. And the Ksav Sofer says, we learn a very powerful lesson from this. When it comes to one's relationship with Hashem, with their Torah learning, it's not enough to just rely on our parents, but we have to build and add to what they've already given us. We take the Torah, we take the values they've given us, and we have to strengthen that bond and make it our own as well. I'd like to take a moment to share two stories of where our CTA students charted their own path to Torah, took the lead on their own relationship with Hashem. One story took place during recess on the football field, and the other on the bus on the way home from school. The first story I truly love, I've shared with many people already. I shared it at a board meeting, so forgive me if you heard the story before, but I feel it's so important to share. As I'm sure everybody knows, football's important. Winning is even more important at times. And during our lower school recess, there was a game of football. And there was a student, for various reasons, didn't really understand the game, didn't grasp the game, physically really unable to play to the level of his peers, his colleagues. And while they're playing, the student wanted to play and he joined the game. And the kids recognized the student's interest in wanting to play, and they decided to put their values ahead of winning. And they came up, this is student-driven, they came up with a plan to give this student the football. And they gave him the football, and they pretended to play the game while they encouraged him to run for the touchdown. And the student, on his own, he ran down the field, got to the end zone, touchdown. They all began to celebrate with him. Not only did they celebrate, they taught him how to spike the ball. Very important. Another is a story on the bus on the way home from CTA. I'm going to read an email I recently received from a parent last week. Hi, I wanted to share something with you that has been going on all year. Aliza Alt and Racheli Goldstein initiated a program on the Berwick bus. They brought along books of Tehillim, Psalms, and invited kids on the bus to join them in saying a little each day. This went on until they finished the entire book. They went out and with their own spending money bought treats and made goodie bags, which they gave out to everyone on the bus. The kids who regularly participated were gifted with a small book of Tehillim to keep. Before I knew what was going on, I was so confused my own child would be disappointed when we drove her to school instead of riding the bus. What an impact these girls had. They probably don't want the public recognition, oh well, but I'm so proud of these young ladies that I felt I would be remiss in not sharing with you what they did. These are two examples of where it's not just a football game, but our kids saw the opportunity to sanctify the game. Students on a bus, we all know what goes on a bus, but these young ladies wanted to use that time to connect with Hashem, and they didn't keep it themselves, but they shared and inspired others. It's in this spirit that we want to instill in our students the love of Torah and Hashem, that we're dedicating this Torah, the Kucherski Torah. It's with tremendous gratitude. Again, I want to thank Lidia and Lev Kucherski for their lead gift for this tremendous project of the new Torah coming to CTA. I just want to share, when I met with the Kucherskis to discuss this evening, Lev said, when we asked him about the Torah, Lev said, I really don't have a choice. Because in 1974, when we came to CTA, we came to Columbus, we had nothing, and the school took their children. And therefore, we have to do this project. Thank you very much for that. There are 304,805 letters in the Sefer Torah. If one is missing, the Torah is rendered invalid, it's puzzle. This is symbolic of who we are at CTA. We're modern Orthodox, Zionist school, Jewish day school, and our commitment is to every single one of our students. Every single one of our children matters to us. If one is missing, it's puzzle. Over the last few months, we've invested significant funds recently to enhance our program. We have great academic leaders in our upper and lower school. We have a tremendous faculty and staff. We're looking at various grants, whatever we can to invest in our program and our school to enhance the education of our students. We've launched the Girls High School Pilot Program as a way also to retain families, to keep as many families as part of our school. We're also partnering with our friend at Gan Ephraim Preschool to expand our base. In just a year and a half, we've already increased the enrollment of the preschool from 32 to 52 students, and we have our eyes on even more. I ask everyone here this evening to join the movement. Every Jew counts. Let's grow the school. Let's continue to increase the number of Siftei Torah here at Columbus Torah Academy. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Drandov. We would like to once again thank all of our sponsors, volunteers, and esteemed Torah Academy faculty and staff for your help in making tonight's event a success. Special thanks to Shari Erstagi, who organizes so many aspects of our scholarship dinner, including the tribute journal.
Finally, a heartfelt thank you to our parents for trusting Torah Academy with your most valuable asset, your children, and your continued partnership in education. Remember, the auction is still taking bids and will close later this evening. A dessert buffet will be held in the lower school gym. May we all be together next year in good health. Shalom and good night.